Congratulations! If you're watching this, then you've done a very smart thing. You've taken the first step towards getting unsecured business funding through Simplified Capital. We'll be going over the content of the information packet you received momentarily, but first, get a pen and paper ready to take down any questions you may come up with. After this video, you'll be able to get those questions answered during your complimentary Q&A session with a Simplified Capital professional. Let's get started. First, go ahead and open up the first PDF in the information packet we sent you, labeled 1 Overview. The first thing you'll see is the phrase unsecured business funding. Since you're watching this video, I think we can safely say that that's something you're interested in. Most likely, the Wells Fargos and Banks of America haven't been able to take care of you, which is why you've come to us. So a big thank you to them. We'll take care of you where others won't. Underneath that is some basic information about our program, like the fact that we don't require financial or tax statements. We offer introductory rates as low as 0%, and so on. The important thing to note here is the 100% guarantee that we offer. We've been at this for so long, and we've gotten so good at it that we're actually able to put our money where our mouth is. In fact, we're probably the only ones in the industry that'll give you a written guarantee on this type of financial service. Under that is the Better Business Bureau logo and a QR code that will take you to the Simplified Capital Ratings page on the BBB website. Our rating is an A+, with 0 complaints lodged against us for more than 12 years. An A+ rating with 0 complaints is pretty hard to achieve. Other companies have A ratings, A-, even A+, sure, but take a look at their complaints. We have none, and we're pretty proud of that. Okay, I'll ask you now to go ahead and close down this first document and open up the PDF entitled 2 Unsecured Credit Lines. This one starts by reiterating a few points from the last document, so I'll take them a little faster. No upfront fees, no collateral requirements, no minimum time in business to qualify, 0% interest, and low introductory rates. It's all based on 100% stated income, or projected sales and stated income. That means if you make, say, $50,000 to $60,000 per year, we're not going to ask you to prove that. Projected sales take what you're making now and add what you'd expect you'll be making after this infusion of capital. If you'll be making an extra $10,000 per month or $120,000 per year, your projected sales for next year is that $120,000 plus your original $50,000 to $60,000. And of course, you always get to determine how and when your capital is invested. Now, due to our unparalleled understanding of credit markets and bank underwriting methods, our program boasts a 98% success rate and is backed by an unequivocal minimum guarantee, or the service is free and you keep the credit lines. Our clients range from some of the largest and most recognizable franchises in the world to the smallest mom-and-pop shops in the neighborhood, and between them have received hundreds of millions of dollars in unsecured credit lines. Okay, next we have a few points about our service. I'll go through them quickly, but don't forget to jot down any questions you have. We review and determine the creditworthiness of the individual, and our 98% success rate generally finds an average of $80,000 or more per person in the first 30 days. In an effort to speed things along, credit lines will be both personal and business. If you need cash instead of the cards, we look to convert about 80 to 90% of the credit lines that we get for you into cash. We don't charge anything extra for this, even though most banks do charge between 2 and 4%. After approvals are received, it usually takes an additional 3 to 4 weeks to receive the cash in your bank account. Rates start as low as 0% for introductory terms up to 24 months. After that, rates will depend on your credit scores, depth, and the credit market at the time. Your introductory monthly payments will only be about 1 to 2% of the total lines in use, and after that, they'll generally only increase to between 3 and 4% depending on your credit. Remember, these credit lines are revolving, meaning you can pay them down and then run them back up again as often as you need to. And finally, don't forget the written 100% guarantee of a minimum dollar amount. If we can't get you that, you effectively pay nothing for our services and you still keep the credit lines. Well, this all sounds great, you say, but what's it going to cost me? I'm glad you asked. The most important thing to remember is that we are not the lender and we are not lending you our money. Simplified Capital is a consulting company, and like most financial consulting firms, we receive our fee in exchange for investing our time and resources into your company. We'll provide you with quality service, support and solutions, expert financial advice, and we walk you through the introduction and pre-qualification process. For all of this, our consultant's fee is a one-time $79.95 for the first individual. And each person seeking capital under the same business name after that gets a $2,500 discount, reducing that second individual's cost to just $54.95. Let's break it down into percentages. Assume that we're able to get just one individual $100,000 total in credit lines. The cost of our services for them is just $79.95. That means that first individual effectively pays only 7.99% for our services. Now, if just one more person comes in under the same business name and receives the $2,500 discount, and between the two of you we manage to get, say, $200,000 total in credit lines, the total cost for our services drops to just 6.75%. Considering all the great services you get with us, this is a considerable value. And remember, there's a 100% guarantee on the minimum dollar amount you'll receive, or you get those services for free, and you get to keep the credit lines. Alright, so go ahead and close this document and open up document number 3, entitled Program Qualification Criteria. If you're still watching at this point, you're probably thinking something like, sounds great, I'd like to do some business together, how do I know if I qualify? The cornerstone to our unsecured working capital program isn't a secret. There's no smoke and mirrors, it's not magic. It's excellent personal credit. Banks understand that if you've worked hard over the years to manage your bills, not overspend or go crazy and make your payments on time, then you're likely to keep those same habits in the running of your business. We know what banks are doing promos each month and who's offering what. We know who's offering it with low introductory terms, and we'll combine those and get them to you to run your company with. A good thing to remember is that credit scores can be a double-edged sword. Just because you have a 740 doesn't mean you'll automatically qualify for the most amount of money we can get for you. It might mean that you've made all your payments on time, but you don't have very seasoned credit. Or maybe you have various balances or items that need to be adjusted on your credit to increase your score, or something like that. Don't worry though, we can work with you on whatever needs adjustment in order to deepen your credit, and basically do everything we can to get you the most money. Let's go down the bullet points on the document real quick. If you've got a 720 credit score, that's a great place to start. However, if need be, we can also help you make some minor adjustments and raise your credit score by 30 to 50 points in just a few days. So basically, don't get discouraged if you don't quite have a 720 right now. We can probably help you get it there. We look for no more than one 30-day late payment on any account in the last 2 years. We also look for no open collection accounts. As I said, we can usually help get rid of closed collection accounts for you, but any open collection accounts need to be paid off or successfully negotiated before entering our program. No bankruptcies, still reporting on the credit bureaus. If you have had a bankruptcy in the last 10 years, let us know. We won't hold it against you. We understand that good people have had bad things happen to them. We do have to know about it, though. If we don't, and we go to a bank you filed with in the past in search of a line of credit for you, they're going to turn us down. We'll have wasted an inquiry, and that takes time and effort away from getting you the capital you'll need. So, let us know, and we can help you avoid any pitfalls. Relatively low usage on existing revolving accounts. We generally look for accounts with less than 45% usage on them for best results. A minimum of one open revolving account with a limit of $5,000 or more, established for at least 3 years. No open liens or judgments, obviously. Depending on the strength of credit, we'd like to see less than $20,000 in revolving debt, and we don't count home equity loans. If you've got a line of credit against your house, that does not count against you. Ultimately, under $20,000 of revolving debt is optimal. If we have someone with really strong credit and $30,000, we're okay with that. We can coach you and try to get you closer to that optimal range. And finally, low recent credit inquiry activity, which means if you've recently been to the dealership, they may have pulled your credit 10 to 15 times. Ideally, we're looking for 4 to 6 credit inquiries in the last 6 months. Again, don't be discouraged if you've got too many inquiries. We can possibly introduce you to a partner of ours who can help you get those down. Well, we're done with this one. Go ahead and open up document number 4. Number 4 should be called The 6 Steps. Your first step is to visit creditchecktotal.com by clicking the link in your document. From there, you can grab a copy of all 3 of your credit reports for $1. When your report's ready, click Reports, then Print. A new page will open with all 3 bureaus. You can also save your report as a PDF or print it all from this site. Next, complete our simplified application so that we can learn a little bit more about you and your company, as well as have your credit authorization in hand. We do this in case the FTC comes around. If we have your credit report but not your authorization, they tend to frown on that. Step 3 is to email us a copy of your credit report and your application using the email address listed. With those items in hand, our team will be able to determine approximately how much we'll be able to guarantee you and potentially get you in credit lines. Once we've confirmed that you're a good candidate for our services, we'll send over a proposal letter indicating how much we can guarantee you. This proposal also has step-by-step instructions on how to get started as quickly as possible. Once all parties agree to proceed, the necessary agreements are written up, signed, and exchanged. Approval generally takes about 5 to 10 working days, but if there are items on your credit report requiring our assistance before we can start submitting for credit, it can take a little longer. It all depends on your unique situation. After we get all that squared away, your credit lines will be completed, and the cards associated with those lines will be on their way to you. If you're planning on converting the credit lines into cash, this is where we'll instruct you and take care of that with you. Remember, we'll strive to liquidate up to 80 to 90% of these credit lines. Now, bear in mind that we are not partnered up with CreditCheckTotal.com. We don't get anything for recommending you to them. That $1 credit report you'll get enrolls you in a 7-day trial period, after which you can keep the service going for a bare $15 to $30 a month. This service is crucial if we're going to maximize the amount of credit lines we can get for you, so don't cancel it until we've clarified this opportunity for you. If it turns out you don't need this service, we'll let you know well before the 7-day trial period expires. Let's move on to document number 5, entitled The Best Fit, which we should be able to get through really quickly. Document number 5 starts by asking if you're a Simplified Capital client, and that's because we know we're not a one-size-fits-all company. Some of our solutions might be great for you, and some may not be. We've been talking about unsecured credit lines, and those are a better option for someone who doesn't want to, say, leverage their home equity. It's also great for owners who want to go and get these unsecured credit lines first and save that equity for later. Other positions that benefit from our program include owners who don't have home equity to give over for a loan, business owners who could grow or expand to additional locations, but with existing commitments can't get approved for that growth by the banks, or individuals who have had unfavorable financial statements, and so on. Again, we don't need favorable financial statements, and that's where this might be a fantastic fit for you. Depending on whether you're a startup or well-established, we'll determine what's a good fit for you, but ask questions. We're here to help. To see all of the solutions we offer, flip on over to the 6th document named Solutions. No matter what your situation, we've most likely got a clean, effective solution for it. Item number 1 on page 6 is the Unsecured Business Funding Program, which is what we've been discussing. We also offer equipment financing, so we can provide financing for a lot of the equipment you'll need. We offer consumer credit financing if you're selling products and services to consumers. We automate the whole process right there at your desk. We approve buyers in seconds, you name it. Our system will approve down to C credits, more than the other guys do, and can actually be adjusted to approve up to 100% of your applicants. For our merchant services, we partner with the best, lowest cost providers to set you up to accept credit cards from your customers and clients. This is one of our options that could save you a lot of money. As you grow, we'd like to offer you purchase order funding, as well as accounts receivable financing to help you get bigger. I mentioned before that we do SBA and USDA loans, and we also do short-term cash infusions if that's what you need. We'll do longer-term cash loans with terms as long as 4 years as well. We do contract financing, so if you land a nice contract and you need to have some capital now, we might be able to leverage that contract and infuse your business with $100,000 to $100 million. You never know. And finally, asset-based lending. Your assets have value. Borrowing against them can gain you the approval you need to meet your capital needs. So if you're looking to borrow against your assets, go ahead and contact us and we'll see what we can do. I won't go through all these with a fine-tooth comb, but as you can see, we've got the skill set and tools necessary to really take your business to the next level, and we're ready to get started when you are. The next step for you is to contact us using this toll-free number here and run us through that list of questions you've been making with your pen and paper. Once we're at the proper stage of the process, you can see that document number 7 is in fact that simplified application we were talking about earlier, and is ready for you to fill out. So, give us a call, ask us your questions, and let Simplified Capital infuse your business with thousands of dollars in unsecured credit line. Simplified Capital. Dream, grow, succeed.